And it may sound hyperbolic, but it's not. It's sadly an actual fact. It's my personal, well, I can't say it's a fact. It's my opinion, my gut feeling. But I would say personally, I believe that around 20 to 25% of black men don't love their children. Where do I get that number from? Well, if you look at the percentage of out of wedlock births, which is close to 80%, that's a high number. But we understand that just shows the number of kids that are being born to parents that aren't married. But there's a good percentage of parents who are not married, but they're together. And there's a good portion of parents that are not together, but they co-parent in a healthy way, right? So even though just the out of wedlock number is 80, the actual number of kids that just don't have both parents in their lives is a lot lower than 80. But with that being said, I truly believe that about 20 to 25% of black fathers don't love their children. Why do I say that? Well, it's really quite simple. If you don't love or care for the woman, in many cases, you're not going to have any love or care for the child. If you have an active, toxic, and chaotic and combative relationship with the woman, in a lot of cases, you're not going to have any love for the child. Now, there's a lot of guys who will say the right thing, oh, I love my child, but the fact of the matter is, their actions show that they don't. And that's why I use the two men in the thumbnail as an example, Umar Johnson and Corey Holcomb. Why do I use these men? Because these are two individuals who have been vocal about their relationship, not only with the mother of their children, but with the children also. And they have said out of their own mouths, if you just listen to them talk, that they had very little involvement in their children's lives from 1 all the way up to 18. And they'll say the right thing at times, like, I love my child. But if you just sit back and listen to them talk, and make sure you hit the like button, if you sit back and listen to them talk, it becomes very clear and evident that they really don't have any love for their children. Number one, the fact that they were not involved in the child's life pretty much at all is evidence right there. But even if you just listen to them talk, like we've seen Umar Johnson recently call his daughter a struggle streamer and baby smurf and all this other kind of stuff. We've seen Corey Holcomb say all kind of things about his children on camera for the world to hear. So if you just listen to these men talk, they tell you. Thank you so much for being the voice. Okay, shout out to you, the Empress. Yes, make sure you hit that like button. If you just listen to these men talk, they tell you how they have very little care or concern for these children. The way they talk about the child is not a way that a parent that actually loves their child would speak about the child. That's number one. And recently I saw a clip from Corey Holcomb where he was saying when his daughter was 16, she reached out to him and said she didn't have a coat. And his response was talking about how much child support he didn't pay and all this other kind of stuff. Listen, if you love your daughter and she lives in Chicago and she reaches out to you and tells you she does not have a coat, you know what you're going to do? You're going to order a coat and send it to her. What's the coat cost? What, $150? I'm not going to buy you a coat even though you don't have one because I'm paying child support? No, you don't want your child to be cold if you love the child. But first of all, let's backtrack a little bit. Make sure you hit that like button because we got to be honest about how these situations come about. And what happens a lot of the time, not all the time, but oftentimes, is these men are in sexual relationships or sometimes even a romantic relationship with a woman that they do not plan on being with permanently, right? You don't plan on spending your life with this woman. You don't plan on marrying this woman. You don't plan on being in a monogamous relationship with this woman. You don't plan on playing house and moving in with this woman. But she winds up pregnant. And so the woman winds up pregnant. And in a lot of cases, naturally, the woman is going to start to look for, okay, Are we going to be more serious now that I'm having your baby? Are we going to move in together? Are you going to think about marrying me? Are we going to be monogamous? Because guys always talk about the baby mama drama and how mean and evil and all this stuff the woman is, but a lot of times they don't talk about where that stems from. And in many cases, it stems from the fact that you got this woman pregnant, and now that she's pregnant with your child, she's looking for a higher level of commitment, protection, and love, and all those kind of things. But you're not interested in giving that to her. And that's where the tension comes from. Because on the one hand, she's thinking, I'm having your baby, so we need to take things more seriously. Maybe we need to settle down. Maybe we need to get married. Maybe you need to be monogamous. And even though you got her pregnant, you're not trying to settle down, you're not trying to get married, and you're not trying to be monogamous. And that's where a lot of the tension comes from, oftentimes. Also, in many cases, make sure you hit that like button. Also, the super chat does work, just letting y'all know. Also, what happens is this. This is a woman that you were having a casual situation with. And so you never had that level of love or care or concern for her. She was always just somebody that you was sexing on. But you didn't have no deep care or concern or love for this woman at any point. And so what happens is now that she's having your baby and she's wanting certain reassurances and certain, levels of security and concern and care from you, and she's not getting it, now it becomes crystal clear to her that this man does not care about me like that. This man don't got no love for me like that, even though I'm having this baby. And that's also where a lot of the tension comes from. Because I realize that even though I'm having this man's baby, he don't care about me like that. And so then here comes the tug of war and the tension, because you want this woman to do things your way and to listen to you and follow you and raise the kid the way you want it to be raised and do this and do that. You want her to basically submit to you and follow you, even though you don't want to claim her or marry her or have any kind of level of concern for her. It ain't gonna work like that. And so a lot of your baby mama drama comes from you had a baby with a woman that you don't care about. And she know you don't care about her. And she know you don't got her back. So she's not going to listen to you because it doesn't make logical sense for her to listen to you. And now y'all having this tension. And then you're mad because she puts you on child support. But listen, when a woman figures out that you really don't got no love for her like that, you don't got no care for her like that, you don't have no concern for her like that, and you really don't got her back, she's going to naturally look to try to, secure herself and set herself up so where she's not left out high and dry. So 9 times out of 10, she's going to put you on child support. Because she cannot trust you to do the right thing because she knows, and it's become very clear, that you don't care for her like that. And since it's very clear you don't care for her like that, she's got to do what she got to do to secure her own self. And that's where a lot of the tension comes from. And getting back to the topic of the video, that's really the reason why a lot of these guys don't love their children. They never loved the mother. They never had any care or concern for her like that. And then on top of that, now she got him on child support. Then on top of that, now he's trying to dictate and give out orders and she's not listening to him. And just think logically. If you are the mother of my children and I do not like you or care for you, and my only tie to you is this child, chances are I don't love this child either. Because all this child is doing is keeping me in your life, and I don't want to be in your life. And that's why I say about 20 to 25% of these guys do not love the child. They don't love the child because they don't love the mother. And all the, like, if you really think about it, like, from their standpoint, all the child is doing is keeping them tied to a woman that they don't want to be tied to no more. And also, oh man, we go. I'm gonna really take it there. Make sure you hit the like button. The super chat still works, by the way. But let me take it a whole another step further. And this is gonna sound crazy, but it's real. In many of these cases, the men are embarrassed by the woman. Okay, meaning they never liked the woman like that. They used the woman to fulfill a sexual desire. But they never wanted to claim this woman. They never took this woman to meet friends. They never took her out on public dates. They never wanted to claim this woman. They were sleeping with this woman in secret to meet a sexual desire. But they never planned on claiming this woman publicly. The problem comes in because he got the woman pregnant. And so now there's proof and evidence that he was with this woman. We're going to talk for real or we're going to talk for real? Because that happens. This woman was always supposed to be a secret. And nobody was ever supposed to know that you was dealing with this woman. But you done messed around and got her pregnant now. And so now the secret is pregnant. And so let's keep it real. Some of these dudes have resentment for that woman because now they can't deny that they was dealing with her because the evidence is right here walking and talking on earth. And so they don't like or care for that woman, and they don't like or care for that child either because the child is evidence that they was with this woman, that they are embarrassed that they were dealing with. And I've seen this a time or two. I know somebody who the child's dad is not involved. And the main reason he's not involved is because if he was to go to the birthday parties and take the pictures and co-parent the proper way, everybody would know that this is who he was sleeping with, and he don't want nobody to know that. So truth be told, he don't love the woman and he don't love that child either. Man, it's deep and it sounds crazy, but that's really what's going on. A lot of these guys, they don't love their children because they don't love their mother. They don't like the mother. They don't want to be associated with the mother. They don't want to claim the mother. And so their entire relationship with the mother is combative and contentious and going back and forth. And so just think about it. The mother, you don't like the mother of your children. You don't get along with the mother of your children. It's a steady, contentious, and combative relationship. Then on top of that, you spend very little time with the child throughout the child's whole childhood and growing up. You really don't even know this child. You don't love that child. That child is a stranger to you. That child is a tie to a woman that you do not like. That's why I say about 20 to 25%, they do not love their children. A lot of them, they don't even know. You don't even know this child. Like, that's why if you go back and you listen to Umar Johnson and all those videos he made about his kids, what was he talking about? He was talking about pre-birth and when the child was an infant, before the child could walk or talk. He had no stories from when the child was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, nothing. He had no stories about the prom. He had no stories about kindergarten. He had no stories about birthday parties. He had no stories about Sweet 16. He wasn't there for any of that. And it's actually, him and Corey Holcomb are very similar. These were two men who were traveling the world doing their own thing and sending a check. And all the while, the woman this, the woman that. The fact of the matter is, these men didn't want to raise these kids. Settling down and raising these kids will cramp these men's style. And so, like, I wish guys would just be honest. Just say, look, man, I don't care about that child. I don't love that child. Because that's the truth. There ain't no sense of you sitting on the internet, all the baby mama this and these women that. No, no, no. You knowingly had unprotected sex with a woman that you had no desire to be with long term. And then you went on about your life. You don't care about that woman or that child. That's just what it is. Why can't you just be honest about that? Because that's really what it is. There's no way you have a child and you don't have no stories about this child from 2 years old all the way to 18, and you say you love that child. You don't love them. You don't know that child. The majority of their life you weren't around. You don't even know them. That kid is a stranger to you. You don't love them. You don't know them. You might like them maybe a little bit because you feel like you obligated to because you are the parent, but you don't love that kid. That's why when these guys talk, you can tell the ones that do want their kid and do love their kid because they can show you paperwork. I filed for custody here. I filed for custody there. I went to court on this date. I went to court on that date. I spent this much money on a lawyer. I spent this much on this. When you don't have no paperwork, you don't have no, I went to court this day, I went to court that day. I showed up to this birthday party. I showed up to this event. I called your mom. When you don't got no documentation, any of that, it's because you don't give a fuck. Let's just be real. You don't care about them kids. You wasn't there, and see what happens is a lot of times it's easy just to say the woman did this and the woman did that. It's easy to do that. That's a lot of guys' default thing. Oh, my baby mama did. No, your baby mama ain't really making it hard for you. You're not trying to be there. A lot of you're using your baby mama to ease your own conscience. Because you really don't care about the child. You really don't got no love for the child. The child will really cramp your style and what you got going on and what you're trying to do. And so you just, in order to ease your own conscience, oh, my baby mama is doing, nah, stop it. You don't love that child because you don't love that woman. And the only thing that ties you to that woman is that child. That's why you see more and more guys say, man, if the woman make it stressful, if the woman make it hard, F you and the baby. The reason they say that is because they don't care about that. They don't care about that child or that woman. That's what it is, man. It's just time we were more honest about that.